Oh, hail a beard, it's your boy Big Beard B, and we back for another edition of Big Beard Business. So listen, man, I was toying around in my YouTube analytics the other day, and I noticed that I had a healthy amount of subscribers out there that fall into that 35 to 45 age range. So today I wanted to hit you off with a video just for you. That's right, you can tell by the title. Today we're talking about the top 10 fragrances for men over 40. And look, if you do not fall within that age range, these fragrances may still work for you. But if these things do not float your boat, these things may work for your uncle, brother, cousin, family member, friend. It doesn't matter, man. Just watch the video. And before I hop into this list, I wanted to go ahead and call out the fact these fragrances are not coming in any particular order. These are just 10 I thought you should know about. And the first one is earthy. It has patchouli. It has some incense. It's fresh and classic. This one is a twist on a classic, more classic fragrance. This one is Armani's Aqua Profumo. Okay, so listen, man, they have a newer version of this that I recently talked about on the channel, which is Profundo, but Profumo has gotten a lot of love. This one has moderate sillage, and this one is good for many occasions, whether you're wearing this one out and about or rocking this one in the office. This is good for a business professional for sure, but if you just like to smell clean, then you can rock this thing as well. If you know anything about Armani, you know that they pay great attention and put a lot of detail into the fragrances that they're offering, and this one stands out for a reason. So if you haven't tried it, make sure you do, and this can go for anyone that falls within that age range. Here you go, man. Aqua Profumo. One down, many more to go. This next fragrance really stands out on its own for a few reasons. This one comes off as cool, but in the dry down, you get this warm, spicy feel. And this one comes from Givenchy, and this one is Gentleman Givenchy Eau de Parfum. Now, they have an EDT concentration of this, which I feel is maybe geared toward the younger people out there, 25 and below, but this thing here really does stand out. Again, you have some cool spices, you have lavender in this thing, and for me, the beauty of this fragrance actually comes in the dry down. Once this thing dries down, it becomes this different type of monster and pops off of the skin. Is something that I find to be extremely enjoyable. So if you're looking for a fragrance that's not going to be in everyone's rotation, you can wear this one on a number of occasions. Once again, like many of these on this list, you could do that. This one will definitely stand out. So we're talking about Gentleman Givenchy Eau de Parfum. And this next fragrance is one that I was wrong about. I dropped a video on the review and said that this thing has been discontinued, but a lot of you was like, no, it's not discontinued. You just can't buy it anywhere. So to me, it's discontinued, but I digress. Listen, man, this fragrance was made to be a change and to oppose all thoughts of what a men's fragrance should be. This one has sandalwood from Sri Lanka. This one has leather, and I think this one is an extremely enjoyable fragrance. This one is like this oriental powdery scent, and it hails from Dior, and this one is Dior Homme Parfum. Okay, now this one is more so one that can be found overseas. Now listen, as I dive into my analytics as well, I know that majority of my subscribers are here in the US, but I do have some of you from across seas as well. So you may have easier access to this fragrance than, you know, me or someone in California, but it says like this thing is still out there. So if you can get your hands on it, make sure you do. This one also has a more seductive type of feel to it than the others that we mentioned as well. So if you're over 40, you know, put this thing on for a date night or something like that, you're gonna smell like a man's man. All right, so she's definitely gonna like the way you smell with this thing going. So make sure you get this one added to your collection if you have not already added it. If you don't have it, be on the lookout for Dior Homme Parfum. Now, this next fragrance was released in 2013, and it comes from a group of people who really know quality. Listen, you can just hear it. All right, listen, the fragrance that I'm talking about comes from Bentley, and this one is Bentley Intense for Men. Now, I know that recently they released some newer fragrances, but I think that this one is a standout fragrance within the line. This one to me is this spicy oriental fragrance that definitely performs well in the cooler weather, but if this is something that you are looking to grab, I would urge you to do so. This one comes off a bit boozy. You have some spice and everything nice, okay? Everything nice that you need is within this fragrance, and the presentation is still there, and with its price point, it's extremely low. And again, like I stated, this comes from people that know quality. So Bentley Intense for men, you'll have everything you need in the fragrance for a low cost in these days, and the quality is definitely there. Look at this distribution. Just look at it. So now that we sprinkled Bentley juice all over the place, we'll talk about this next fragrance. And this next fragrance is for those of you who are easing out of your savagehood. Therefore, you need Dior Sauvage Parfum. Now, this one is a 2019 release, and in my personal opinion, it is the best out of the 3 releases out there. There's some who may dispute me, but this is my channel. But no, man, all jokes aside, this thing really does work. I think this takes away a lot of some of that aggressive wild feel that you saw in the EDT. The EDP did take away from that a bit, but I personally feel that the Parfum version is the perfect mix. You still get that Ambroxan in here, but it's not as potent or as strong as you will find in the EDT or the EDP. You get that tonka and sandalwood to kind of really make this thing pop, all right? This has this fresh, inviting Mediterranean type of feel to it as well. So if you're looking for a fragrance that's going to be a crowd pleaser and also work for those of you over the 40 age group and still smell on trend, this is definitely one that you can rock with, Dior Sauvage Parfum. This next fragrance that's on this list is one that I'm a bit shy to mention because last time I talked about on this channel in any great deal is probably when I told you reasons that you should not buy it. I don't really feel like I said you shouldn't buy it. I just said that it's out of style. All right, but with that being said, and by out of style, I just meant not in trend. All right, this fragrance isn't on trend with what the current fragrance selection is, but it's still a good fragrance. This one has cedarwood from Virginia, Atlas cedarwood, like this fresh cut cedarwood, and it's very popular. The fragrance I'm mentioning is Versace Arrows. Now, in the bottle of Versace Arrows that I have, this one is from the original release. I think I got this the month after it came out. The missus and I were in the store as a birthday gift. She picked this one up for me, and I've had it ever since then. I got about half of this away. I used about half of it at the moment. To me, this bottle of Versace Arrows I have really pops off of the skin. This is this earthy, woody, aromatic scent that has great performance, longevity, projection, sillage, everything is on point with this one. Now, I have a bottle from the original release. I think we got this about a month after it released. We were walking to the mall, boom, for my birthday, the missus picked this one up for me. So I definitely think this is a solid scent. Again, it's not on trend for fragrances that you could find today, like the Eau de Parfum of Sauvage, but this one definitely still does work. If the fragrance hasn't been reformulated and they did not play around with the longevity or anything like that, this is definitely one of the more powerful scents out there, so little goes a long way with this thing here. So there you have it, Versace Arrows, and this thing can get you compliments, just don't wear it on a plane. This next fragrance is warm and a key player out there in the frag world if you are into fragrances. I think that any man is going to enjoy this fragrance. This one has rum, it has tobacco, it has pink pepper, you have some vanilla in this thing. It's warm, slightly spicy, sweet, and this one hails from the Maison Margiela replica series, and this one is Jazz Club. If you are feeling jazzy, you need to spray this thing on because this thing definitely works. Now, this one is supposed to be centered around a jazz club in Brooklyn. Shout out BFL, year 2013, okay? That's what this fragrance is supposed to be. Now, if you've been in Brooklyn in a jazz club in 2013, then maybe you will be able to confirm this, but I have not been in a jazz club in Brooklyn in 2013. But what I can tell you is that the other fragrances within this replica series really do replicate the scene that they are trying to give you, right? So This one I really enjoy. A lot of the fragrances within this Maison Margiela replica series come off as extremely a solid scent as well. Another fragrance from them that you could try if you're 40 and older is Barber Shop. I think that one is a good clean scent that actually I changed my mind on because I was not a huge fan of that, but over the years it has grown on me and I'm open to recommending it. All right, so there you have it. Jazz Club for Maison Margiela, and you can also try Barber Shop. Or At the Barbers is what it's actually called. Now, our last fragrance was centered around 2013, and this next fragrance was released in 2013. I have not talked about this particular fragrance on the channel for a while. I don't know if I ever have. I got sent the entire collection of this one, I don't know, back in 2018. But I don't know if I've talked about this one, so we'll go ahead and talk about it now. This fragrance is from Varvatos, and this one is Varvatos Artisan Aqua. Now, this one is on a fresher side of the house, whether it comes to the fragrances that we talked about so far or the fragrances within this Varvatos series, because a lot of them are like darker scents that are good for professional wear, but this is one of the ones when they dip their toes into that fresh world and decided to try it out. Now, I think the far superior scent is Artisan Pure, but this one here definitely can work for you as well. I think one of the key pieces that I would say we would need to call out in terms of how this fragrance performs, like many of the other Artisan fragrances or Varvatos fragrances, is the performance. This one doesn't have great performance, so you will likely need to reapply this throughout the day or just be good with what you get on this thing. All right, so I think all things considered, the presentation on this is good, and this one also, just the presentation with the hanging tag and this cap, although it's not the same, because I know somebody's gonna say something. This kind of reminds me of the Shawn Mendes fragrance that I got a while back. Not that it looks exactly like it, or it smells nothing alike for that matter too. But the little hang tag here kind of is reminiscent to that. The cap looks like it, and then this little wrap around it looks the same as well. I saw something on niche. Doesn't matter. But listen, man, I think you could get away with this thing, especially for the spring and summer months. This is one that you could rock like a champ. This one has a ton of notes in it as well to really enrich that Mediterranean type of feel. So make sure you check this thing out if you haven't already done so. And then the price point on this thing isn't bad at all. So Varvatos Artisan Aqua. We're down to the final two fragrances, and this next one is a fresh, earthy, woody blend on a scent, and the line of this fragrance continues on and on. And they continue to drop bangers. A lot of these are bangers. This is one that was released in 2018, and I think this one was a strong player. This one comes from Bulgari, and this one is Bulgari Man Wood Essence. Now, always dig it when they can incorporate some of the name within the presentation for this fragrance. So right at the top here, you get to see some of this faux wood grain in the sprayer here, and it has the same Bulgari Man presentation overall. This one again is this fresh, woody, earthy scent that I think works. This one can garner compliments and is all-purpose fragrance as well, generally speaking, for the spring and summer months. But you could definitely wear this one to the office, or you could wear this one casually if you are feeling fresh and you want to be fresh to death. Go ahead and spray this thing on. And now, I personally like this one a lot more than the Bulgari Man Neroli Essence. So make sure you try this thing out if you haven't, because it's dope. And there can only be one, and this is the final fragrance on today's list. This one hails from Cologne, and this one is Cologne L'Homme Ideal Intense, all right? This one is this aromatic, woody scent. You have lavender, you have vanilla, and to me, this one, again, like some of the others, really takes shape in the dry down. In the base of this scent, you really get some of that warm vanilla, you get patchouli, and you also get a little bit of smoke in this as well. So if you're looking for a fragrance that again is like some of the others, more that seductive type of approach to manlyhood, then this is definitely one that you can rock. So I don't talk about this one much, as personally, I feel like this is geared for men that are 40 and above, and I'm not there yet. So maybe as I get older, I'll add this one into the rotation a bit more, but I definitely felt it needed to be on today's list. So Cologne, L'Homme Ideal Intense. Those are 10 fragrances I feel that you could pick up for those in your life who are over 40. If you're over 40, give these things a try on the designer side. If you want to see some niche fragrances, I can bring that to you as well so we can dive into those. Listen, man, you can buy this for yourself, anyone in your family. This can also be great Father's Day alternative scents, so make sure you try them out. As always, I'm your boy, Big B. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Tell a friend that we are back again. And you already know what I need you to do. Just hit the goddamn bell.